What's up, Tim Charron here. I teach singers and bands how to book great gigs and explode your music career. We are right in the middle of Musician Motivation Month. I want to thank everybody for subscribing and for commenting and asking questions and bringing up topics that they want me to cover. I am also in the middle of answering viewer and listener questions. So let's dive right into this one. Where are we? This one comes from Michael. How long to wait to follow up so that the booker doesn't get annoyed? Actually, I've gotten this question from quite a few people and some of my students as well. So it's a great question. It's hard to answer. I'll do my best, but it's very situational. So I'll start with like recurring gigs. Say you have a band and you're looking to get into like a bar or a club and play once a month or every Saturday. This could be for a solo, duo, trio, anything, something that you're doing as a recurring gig and you're just trying to get like into that venue on a whole. Because then I'll go over festival shows, which are a bit of a different monster. So my kind of rule of thumb is if you are just initially trying to get into a place and reaching out to the venue, the booker, I kind of go with like the half a week rule, if that makes any sense. I'll explain it. So say I'm calling somebody and I just talked to them for the first time on a Thursday. Well, just keep it simple. On a Thursday, then I will just push it to like a little more than half a week and I'll follow up with them on like a Monday or Tuesday. That's pretty much it. That's pretty simple. Unless of course they say, follow up with me at this point. And that's more common with festivals. And I'll go over that in a second. But yeah, because at the beginning, you're just trying to get them to know you. You don't want to be too annoying by calling them like the next day, but you want to make sure that they know that you're being persistent and that you want the gig. So, I always would advise to shoot for the be more bold than less. I just kind of, in my experience, I believe that the laid back approach, as far as follow up and consistency and persistence, is not as effective as the more bold approach. So having said that, if you first contact someone on a Monday, call them back or follow up with them on a Thursday or Friday. Pretty much that simple. So that's for like bars, recurring gigs, stuff like that. Now, festivals are a different monster. I have a lot of experience booking festivals. And most festivals, they're once a year. And most festivals, they have a certain time of the year that they start accepting submissions. So what you want to do is, of course, you want to be organized, and you want it in a calendar or something, a Google Calendar. You want to write down. You want to find out when they start taking submissions, and you want to hit them up right at that time, maybe even a little bit before. So, for instance, if there's a festival in February and they start booking in November, the year before, end of October, give them a call. Leave them a voicemail if nobody answers, maybe nobody's in the office, because these festivals are, again, once a year. They have a skeleton crew when they even have staff in the office. A lot of times they don't have anybody in the office for most of the year until they start like putting the festival together. Having said that, when you're doing festivals, when you're trying to book festivals like all year long, my rule of thumb, if there isn't like a specific time when they start booking, is once a quarter. So if you're trying to festivals to me have always been kind of the holy grail, and the, they're the big shows. And so I would call every 3 to 4 months and follow up. So I hope that helps. Again, basically bars, like, give it half a week if you're just following up, especially for initially. And you have to be prepared for people to not book you as well. And so my kind of rule of thumb when I was booking, bars and barstool gigs and stuff was, I'm going to keep following up with you until you tell me, no, we don't want you. And sometimes people do. People are like, no, we're not interested. Some people can be just ruthless, which is fine. It's a numbers game. Remember that. Make 20 calls to get 1 gig, and it's totally worth it, because then you have that gig, especially if it's a recurring gig. You're making money every week or every month. It's a win-win. But definitely keep being persistent. Keep being persistent until they either hire you or they tell you that they don't want you at the venue. And then, just try to let it slide off. And the best way to let it slide off is to make 19 more calls and get onto 19 more venues so that you can book 1, 2, 3, or 4 more recurring gigs. So I hope that helps. Thank you very much for the question. Thank you again, everybody, for being a part of this community. I'm super excited about it. It's really growing way faster than I thought it would. So thank you. And make sure you subscribe to everything and grab the free download, my gift to you, the guide on how to book gigs the easy way at howtobookgigs.com.